Hey, what's up, Turtle Riders? Excuse me one sec. All right, what's up, everybody? Get this out of here. All right, sorry, we're running a little late here. All right, welcome, guys. Obviously, the live show does not usually start this late, but that's okay. We'll survive. How's everybody doing tonight? Small crowd, that's okay. I just went ahead and shared it on Facebook. So look, it's kind of like an impromptu live, I guess. I was going to live stream. So here's the deal, okay? For those of you who are just getting here now. So I went to Walpole tonight because I was like, what was it? 2 or 3 weeks ago, I was invited to be there, the guest speaker at the Walpole Republican Town Committee. And I'm like, yeah, sure, let's do it. And they wanted me to give a speech about cancel culture, but I was kind of canceled. Like they'll debate whether or not I was canceled, but I was told that they were gonna have a state rep speak instead. To me, that's like you're getting canceled. I don't know where I come from. That's getting canceled, which is just so ironic. And I'm like, who the fuck is the state rep? And they're like, well, it's the representative who represents Walpole. His name is Shawn Dooley. And Shawn Dooley is just a douchebag extraordinaire. There's 160 state representatives in Massachusetts, right? 29 of them, maybe 30 are Republican. Shawn Dooley is one of those, okay? So he's from one of the rare districts where a Republican is represented. However, I would hardly call him that. This is this fucking fat bastard right here. He is he doesn't like he's a Charlie Baker boy. Like, remember Shiva called me a Baker boy? He's an actual Baker boy. And he does absolutely fucking nothing. That's the best I could say about him. Absolutely he's completely useless. And about, I don't know, 4 or 5 months ago, there was an incident within the Republican State Committee, whatever, drama. Some woman named Deb Martell, who I've never heard of before, made a comment that about homosexuals, adopting kids. She wasn't a fan of it, to say the least. Okay, a little bit outdated of an opinion. I don't agree with it at all. That's not really why I'm a conservative. I have nothing against the gays. I really don't care if gay people get married. I haven't. Macklemore won a Grammy a long time ago. Whatever. Okay, but if there's people still clinging on to that, who cares? Who cares? That issue is settled. It's like she's probably part of 10% of the world of the country that actually still doesn't get on board with that. So who gives a shit? But Shawn Dooley had to get on his pedestal. And say she should resign. She should resign. We are an inclusive GOP over here. We are inclusive, which is just so, talk about gay. That is so gay, son. We are not, the Republican Party is not supposed to be the party of virtue signaling. Okay? That's what the left does. They have meaningless virtue signaling. We're just the party of getting shit done. And, we're just against that whole thing. But he wants to be the party of look at me. I'm for the gays. Yes. Pat me on the back. Okay. Good job, Shawn. Good job. So that wasn't enough. That wasn't enough, though. They wanted the chairman of the Mass GOP. His name is Jim Lyons. I like Jim. And they wanted him to kick her off whatever committee she's on, etc. Okay? And he's like, I'm not doing that. He's like, I'm against it. I think what she said, I don't agree with it at all. But I don't believe in cancel culture. So Jim Lyons is like, I'm not kicking this lady out. And that's fine. Well, 29 of the 30 state representatives of the Republican state representatives wrote this fucking letter. And they wrote this letter and they're like, Jim Lyons should resign for not kicking this woman out. And it's 29 out of 30. This is what you motherfuckers are doing. That includes my state rep. I'm like, you guys have the time for this? This is what the GOP does now, is We kick people out because they don't condemn some woman who made some offhand comment about gay people adopting kids. What the fuck what are we doing here? So whatever. Well, then Liz Miranda comes around, State Rep Liz Miranda from Boston, and we all did a thing on her, the ratchet representative who is literally having a sexual affair with a convicted murderer who's out on jail. He's out on parole. Okay, he served 25 years in jail. His name is fucking Corn, as in corn on the cob. That's his goddamn name. And a state representative, an elected official, who, by the way, authored the police reform bill because Black Lives Matter and whatnot. And she pushes, she's banging this dude, which is fine. Okay. Except his name is Corn and he's out on parole. Okay. Now that's not illegal, but the fact is she's meeting up with him secretly in New Jersey to fuck. And he's not allowed to cross state lines. That's a violation of his parole. On top of that, she's also well aware that he is a domestic abuser who is beating the shit out of his pregnant baby mama, Rosalind, who came on the show one time to air her grievances. And then Liz Miranda got a restraining order against this woman because Rachel Rollins helped her out. Well, on top of that, Liz Miranda's also got a bunch of nasty tweets. So, like, she's like saying the N-word a million times, calling people retards, making fun of the transgender community, big no-no. Making fun of the gays. Ooh, speaking of the gays. And so I'm like, okay, well, here we go. Here we go. So this woman is this. So Shawn Dooley, right, is Mr. I condemn shit. When he sees bad people saying things that are not nice, he stops what he's doing and writes a goddamn petition. We are going to write a fucking petition and we are going to say, this is bad. Bad Liz Miranda, right? I mean, Deb Martell said, who the fuck is she? She has no power or influence. She's a nobody. She has to go, okay? Even though she's in this party, she has to go. But here you have the woman in the opposite party, the majority party, who said something really bad, much, 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 much worse than whoever the fuck Deb Martell is and whatever the fuck she said. And he's got, and so it's like, you're going to say something about this, right, Shawn Dooley? This is your thing. No, he said nothing. I emailed him a bunch of times. I messaged him. He said he was putting his kids to bed, never got back to me. And now he has blocked me on social media like the coward that he is. Okay. This was going to be who they chose to speak. So I write about it and I'm like, we're going to hold a protest down there, aren't we? Well, Turtleboy is everywhere. Turtleboy is everywhere. And obviously people that live in Walpole, turtle riders and live in Walpole and their family members, and they're like, if they know someone on the Republican Town Committee over there, they send them a message like, what are you guys doing? What are you guys doing? This is a big mistake. You don't want this. You don't want Turtleboy protesting outside the library. That's what they heard was going to happen. And I was going to. And so in order to avoid this, I don't know who canceled who here, but Shawn Dooley got canceled. So he was canceled for canceling me about my speech about cancel culture. Write that all down, okay? It's going to be on the quiz. And I don't know if they canceled him or if he just was too much of a coward to show, or he's afraid because he blocked me on social media. It's like, he can't block me in person. He cannot show up, I suppose. Either way, he was no longer going to be speaking there. So, I'm like, okay. So I write this blog and I'm like, I'm not going to show up tonight. Thinking in my head, what if this is all a ruse by Shawn Dooley to avoid seeing me? He thinks I won't show up. I'm going to show up. I'm going to show up. Well, as fate would have it, I have another blog that comes up about Shawn Dooley today. And this guy is my new political enemy, okay? I'm going to make it my mission to take him down. He's my new Tracy Novick, except Tracy Novick can actually put up a much better fight than him. And thank you, Frank Rizzo, for the dono there. I appreciate that. 5 big ones. Hold on. Let me share this, by the way, if we haven't. Again, we are banned from monetizing this channel. So the super chat function is not available to Turtleboy. So we made it our own. People always say build your own platform. That's what we went and did. We went and built our own super chat function. It's called Turtle Chat, and it's right here. So I'm going to pin it to the top there. If you guys would like to donate, again, it's pinned to the top. You click on that. You can write whatever you want as a message on your Turtle Chat, and I will read it during the show. So let me pull it up here. I'll just have my Turtle Chats ready. Okay. So if you do a Turtle Chat, you can write whatever you want that way. Okay. And again, and the Cash App is $Uncle Thank you very much, Diane. So again, this is what I do, guys. This is what I really live for, is this type of shit. People like, a lot of people are telling me like, I'm happy you're getting more political, because I didn't do the politics thing. But no. I'm at this point, I'm what you would consider a political revolutionary. I'm kind of leader of a political movement. And that's fine. I mean, I've gone full right wing, like no doubt about it. Like I'm a right winger. I own it. I like to think I'm kind of common sense right wing, but it is what it is at this point. Okay. So anyway, let's get back to this guy, this loser, because I'm going to take him down. Trust me. He's such a coward. I mean, what? Look at that face. Look at that face. What a horrible looking person. Ugh. Anyway, so where'd the story go? Oh, I wanted the King Philip story. Let me pull the King Philip story up. So as luck would have it, Walpole are three of the towns that Shawn Dooley oversees are Norfolk, Wrentham, and Plainville. And I'm like, and it so happens I get an email today from some parents in those towns, and they're very upset. They're very upset. So before we get into what that email is about, let's talk about this Dr. Seuss book. I don't know if you can read this in school. They might have banned it because of cancel culture. But this book, this is my favorite Dr. Seuss book, The Sneetches. It's his most important book he's ever written, in my opinion, as far as, you know, Dr. Seuss was always trying to tell a story about racism. He was trying to speak against it. And this is the best book that does that. So the Sneetches are this, I don't know, breed of Seuss freaks. And they're all, you know, in the same genus and species, I would guess. But some of them have stars on their bellies, and some of them do not. And the ones with stars on their bellies are kind of like the cool Sneetches, right? And they bully the ones that don't. Like, look at you, stupid Sneetches. You don't even have a star on your belly, you freaking loser. You can't hang out with us. And they segregated themselves, and they discriminated against them, and they bullied them, and they were stigmatized by not having the star on their belly. Okay? Well, then one day, all of a sudden, this dude comes along. Sylvester McSomething. McMonkey. No wonder he got canceled. Sylvester McMonkey comes along. And McMonkey comes along, and he's got this machine that takes Sneetches without stars, and you go through the machine, and you come out with the goddamn star on. Okay? And you give him money, and, you know, he makes bank. And then all the ones with the stars on their bellies, they don't want the star anymore. So you pay him money, and he takes it off. Okay. And at the end of the day, this means nothing, of course, but this guy is making all the money. I have never seen a more perfect segue into a blog in my entire life than with this work of beautiful literary fiction by Dr. Seuss. Because this is exactly what is happening in your schools with the climax. Okay, for those of you new here, climax is code word for the word that you can't say on YouTube, lest you get demonetized. So we call it the climax around here, okay? So, you know, you don't want to get the climax, forced climax, stuff like that. Anyway, so King Philip's school, okay, King Philip Regional, is one of the schools in the state where over 80% of the kids are vaccinated. And once over 80% of kids are vaccinated, according to the DESC, you no longer have to force masking on the population. And remember, they were going to do this in October, then it was November. Now it's like, do it as the fuck whenever you want. And so I think Hopkinton was the first school to get rid of it, and now others are following suit. Okay. I feel like most, and here's the thing about this, right? The schools that are going, I'll tell you what's probably not 80% vaccinated, Holyoke in Lawrence. I'm guessing those schools are not 80% vaccinated. That's what's ultimately going to, because it's fucking racist, this policy. Like, let's be honest. White kids are going to get to take their masks off before the black kids and the Puerto Rican kids because they're not vaccinated. Like, we've talked about this many times. Damn it, they're not climaxed. They're not climaxed. God damn it, that hurts. Hold on. The fuck's going on here? What is that interference? Time out. Come on. Sneeches. Give me 1 sec. Hold on. All right, that's better. I like that one. All right, hopefully that's all. Okay. So anyway, so back to this whole thing, right? The King Philip has over 80% vaccinated, so they're not going to make kids wear the masks anymore. Well, when this first happened, I'm like, okay, so I know, like, once you get rid of the masks, it has to be for the whole population, right? They don't have the balls to say, well, these 10% of kids are not vaccinated, so they must wear the masks and no one else is. I'm like, no school can possibly be that cruel. That's horrible optics. No fucking way will they dare do that. Dare. But they did. Because your schools are governed by evil, disgusting, filthy animals. And you should have nothing but contempt and hatred for them. They're horrible. People are like, you should get along with everyone. We should be civil. No, you shouldn't. With these animals, these are animals. These are disgusting. They've given up their humanity. They look down on you like unhuman swine if you are not climaxed. So you should look the same on them. They're animals. They're not your friends. Your goal should be to treat them like the human filth that they are. The dirty, disgusting communists that they are. Don't give them any respect. Don't treat them with anything but contempt. When we get power back, we will punish them back. And that's the way it needs to be. Oh, we should get along. And no, motherfucker. No. This isn't you punch me in the face and I say, okay, we'll just, when I get power, I won't punch you. We'll just, fix things up. No, I'm going to kick you in the fucking head, you asshole. That's what we need to start doing to these people. Not literally, to be clear. We don't need to kick these people's asses. We could, but we're not going to, because we're above that at least. Anyway, this is the email that they sent out. Okay, this comes from the school nurse, 𝗟𝗶𝘃𝗧𝘂𝗍, but it's per the orders of the superintendent. It says, you're receiving this email because your kid is in school today and is unmasked. Our current records indicate that your child is not vaccinated against the COVID-19 virus and must continue to wear a mask in school. The mask exemption only applies to fully climaxed students. Unclimaxed students must continue to wear the mask in school. If your child comes to school again without a mask, you'll be contacted to pick up your child from the school. This is not a HIPAA violation, but a state mandate. So I'm like, they'll never do this because what are they going to keep a list of kids who are unclimaxed? Yep, that's what they're going to do. And you're going to sit in class and your kid could be the only kid in a class of 25 students that has to wear the goddamn mask. I mean, do you understand how evil you have to be to do that? Just fucking evil. Evil. Okay? Now, personally, if I'm one of these parents, you just say, oh, that's nice. I actually won't be picking up my child at school because you fucking assholes closed the schools last year and I missed a lot of time at work. I got to make up for it. So also get this. I pay taxes and they pay your fucking salary. So here's what you're going to do instead. You're going to shut the fuck up and you're going to educate my fucking child and you're going to stop violating their 14th Amendment rights to an equal access to an education because, oh yeah, the education is not equal if some of the kids are wearing masks and other kids are not. Because obviously it's harder to communicate with your teacher, breathe, and do other basic life functions if you have a mask on. And telling some kids they can wear masks and some kids they can't wear masks makes it unequal. So you can't do that, obviously. And if you think I'm going to come pick my kid up at school, you can suck all the dicks, okay? Thank you. Bye, bitch. You don't tell me how things work. That's what you guys need to start doing. Fucking shut the fuck up. I'm going to pick up my kid. I'm going to pick up this dick, motherfucker. You think you're going to pick up my kid? Shut the fuck up and teach my kid math. You anti-science fucking Nazi. Jesus fucking Christ. Can you tell I'm fired up? I mean, this is, every day I think it gets worse with this shit. This is the worst I've ever seen. The worst. This is worse than forced climaxing, I think. Because this is going to encourage bullying. This is the real life 𝗕𝗍𝗄𝗃. Except in this case, of course, your child is going to feel extra pressure now to get the climax. The kids don't have the climax because the parents aren't getting it for them. So now your average 15-year-old who wants to, breathe in school and doesn't want to wear the mask is going to say, Mom, come on, let me get it. I don't care. Whatever. And that's what they want to do. They want to turn your children against you, and that is fucking evil. Oh my God, it's evil. It's so fucking evil. You know who does this? People who don't fear the populace. That's the biggest problem in this country right now is we have a government that does not fear the citizens. I'm starting to think January 6th, not so bad. Not so bad. Maybe they should shit their pants once in a while, huh? Maybe they should. What? The fact that they feel so comfortable doing this to your fucking kids and to your relationship with them? Oh, that's a government that needs a fucking smack in the face and to be reminded who the fuck they are and who the fuck you are. Anyway, it is a Star of David. I mean, people, it's a Nazi thing. No, this is exactly what it is, okay? They haven't started sending you with the camps yet. But they are starting with segregation. And that's exactly what they're going to do here. Because there's no science behind this, obviously. Obviously, there's no science behind this because if there was and the climax worked, then it would not matter if all the other kids are climaxed, okay? That wouldn't matter. Of course, we know the masks don't prevent anything from happening. My kid got COVID wearing a mask in school, so those don't work. So the masks don't work. The climax doesn't work. At least when it comes to transmission, it might, help you from dying if you're morbidly obese or elderly or have comorbidities, but certainly it doesn't stop transmission. Nobody denies that. So what is the logic behind this? What is the science behind this? Like, why should one kid wear the mask and the other kid not? It makes no sense. All this is about is giving you an incentive, a child an incentive to get the climax. And that incentive is, would you like to breathe? Yeah, would you like to breathe? Oh, you don't have a right to breathe. Well, you can kind of breathe with that thing on, right? Like, whatever. It's good enough. You're not like dying. Almost. Yeah, it's just, who cares? Whatever. That's all they're doing. They're coercing you into getting this. And this is the 𝗕𝗍𝗄𝗃, guys. This is the 𝗕𝗍𝗄𝗃. Let's go back to that. Okay. Look at this picture. This is exactly what is happening here right now. Here you have the 𝗕𝗍𝗄𝗃 with no star. Okay. These are the masks. They're getting all the other kids who don't have to wear masks are going to be like, ha, 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 motherfucker. I would do that if I was a kid. High school kids are cruel. If you were like a junior and like one of your buddies had to wear the mask and you didn't, you'd be like, yo, motherfucker. So what's going on? Oh, shit, I can't hear you. I can't hear you. You sound like one of fucking the guys from Peanuts. You sound muffled, motherfucker. You know what I really like doing? Breathing. Oh, it's so sweet. Feel this air. I would just be razzing the shit out of my buddies. And you would just make fun of it, like, ha, 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 your mama don't get you jabbed. You ain't got the climax. I got the climax. That's what this is. Schools are allegedly places where they're trying to cut down on bullying, and they're literally creating something that will make more bullying than anything you could possibly imagine. That's what this is. You are stigmatizing children, honor students, good kids being pulled out of class and told that you're a bad kid now because you don't have a mask on. And put this mask on so that we know how dangerous you are, and your teachers know how dangerous you are, and your peers know how dangerous you are. You evil, disgusting child with awful parents who want you to die. I'm telling you, it's fucking evil. Well, then who comes along? So who is Mr. McMonkey here? Well, that would be Big Pharma, wouldn't it? It's Big Pharma's coming along, and they're like, hey, you guys want to, here, just give me your money. It's really important. You want the star, okay? You want the star on your belly. It'll make you safe. It'll make you better. That's what he's doing here. He's selling you something that is fucking meaningless. This climax for the kids is pointless. They don't die from COVID. Everybody knows that by now. There's no fee. There's never been a fee. They could have been in school fucking a year and a half ago. So with the fucking star is the climax, and he's selling it. And yeah, you get it and you go through, but who gives a fuck? Ultimately, what does it matter? Climax, no climax, what do you care? It doesn't matter. You're no different than you were before. It doesn't save you. It's fucking meaningless. All right. So blah, blah, blah. And then this asshole comes around. I mean, look at this fucking haircut. How does a guy like this get a job in 2021? I mean, dude, this guy looks like he plays fucking tight end for like the 1954 St. Louis Browns or some shit. Look at him. Look at that haircut. Who are you, dude? With the flat top. So this guy's name is Paul Zinni, and he writes this letter to a parent who was very concerned about it. Her daughter is an honor student, and she wasn't happy. She says, in August, the Commissioner of Education mandated all students and staff wear masks in any Massachusetts public school. It's been extended twice now because over 80% of the people in our building are now climaxed. The commissioner has granted a waiver to people who are climaxed to attend school unmasked should they so choose. Per the commissioner's letter included with my email, this waiver only applies to people climaxed. I am sorry that this does not apply to your daughter, you bad parent. Your daughter is expected to continue attending school just as she has for the past 50 months, masked and in person. Should any non-climaxed person refuse to wear a mask in the building, by mandate, the Board of Health and Department of Education, they are to be excluded from the building until they comply and wear a mask. Refuse. I mean, we need kids now more than ever, kids. Be bad. It's time to be bad, kids. Hundreds of you kids need to just stop with this shit. Enough. Fucking enough. Stop. These are evil people that you're being freaking, like, we're giving you permissions to literally tell your teachers to go suck your fucking dick. You'll be a hero if you do that. If you tell this superintendent to lick your fucking balls, you can go full Cartman on him and you will be a goddamn hero. Hero. I will have you on the show. I've already offered $50 to the first kid who does it, and none of you kids have it in you, I guess. I don't know. Back in my day, kids rebelled against authority. And it was, they told us not to. And we still rebelled. We're like, dude, rebel. And you're like, no, I like compliance. Compliance is fucking cool. Kids are so lame these days. Okay. So this is all. So here's my question. Oh, by the way, it also says in their handbook that any form, harassment and discrimination in any form or any reason is prohibited. They're literally practicing that right now. Okay. So, well, as it would happen, these three towns are governed by Shawn Dooley. There he is in Rentham and Plainville. Oh, yeah. So this guy, look at that pose too. What the fuck is that? What the fuck? Where is he? Where is he on this? If you are a Republican right now and you are silent on this issue, you are the definition of useless. Absolutely fucking useless. What are you in office for? What are you doing? You're not going to fight this battle? This is the most important battle that there is. And it's a winning battle too. This and critical race theory in schools should be the things that every Republican is jumping on in this country. Did you not watch what happened in Virginia? Did you not watch a 10-point blue state go to some guy no one's heard of against a governor who's already been governor of the state before and had the backing of the most powerful people in the country? The guy in the vest won because he was right on these issues. He was right on this. Ron DeSantis, Florida used to be a swing state. Not anymore. He owns that state because he's right on this issue. These are popular winning issues. More importantly, they're moral issues because children are being affected by it. And this useless piece of shit, this garbage human being, this coward, Shawn Dooley, is silent on this. So when I found out that he was invited over me, I'm like, are you fucking kidding me? I'm going to have a protest down there. And then I see he's canceled. Okay. So I go down there anyway and I do my thing. And you saw me down there. And I said, I'm going to go inside. And if they kick me out, then I'm going to protest and live stream. Okay. So I go in there, and at first, it was a little bit like they're scared. They're a little bit scared. I'm gonna be honest. They're like, Turtle Boy's here. We told him it was canceled. We thought we appeased him, whatever, but he's still here. Okay. And they thought I was streaming. I'm like, I'm not here for that. I wanted to make it very clear. I'm not here for that. I am here to build a political coalition of real conservatives in this state who are fighting back against people like this douchebag, Shawn Dooley, your useless state representative. He needs to go. He didn't say shit about Liz Miranda. Nope, he had plenty to say about Deb Martell and her comments about gay people adopting. He hasn't said a fucking word about your children being treated like sneetches. Not a goddamn word. What fucking use is he? Tell me what this asshole does all day. What is his goal? I go to his Facebook page and I see pictures of him with Congressman Jake 𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏. Oh, he's blocked me again. He blocked me on another page. Well, guess what, douchebag? I got more pages where that came from, asshole. We're going to go on his page right now and say, where are you at, you fucking coward? You absolute fucking coward. This guy is my enemy. Let's make it clear. I am going to take him down. He will never serve in office again. He is my Liz Cheney. He is a traitor. He is a useless waste of space. Give me one moment. How many fucking passwords do I have? Hold on. I'm trying to do 𝗵𝗵𝗃𝗃𝗃. Nope, that's not it. How about this one? How about, let's do this one. All right, we're in. Let's go to his Facebook page. So this is the one he's blocked me from. This is his personal page. And I go here. This is the first fucking picture. Okay? That's him on the left there. This goober right here, that's Jake 𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏. Jake 𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏 is the United States congressman who took over Joe Kennedy's seat and represents those towns over there that Dooley represents. And he's a radical leftist. Why is he palling around with this asshole? This is a communist. Why are you? Because at the end of the day, this is what people like Shawn Dooley and Charlie Baker want. They want to be invited to the DC cocktail parties because the liberals run shit and they want to stay in their good graces so that they stay in power. They don't give a fuck about values or principles, and they certainly do not give a flying fuck about your kids. They laugh at your children because this is what it's about. If he comes out too strong and condemns, King Philip Regional for what they're doing, Jake Ashkensklaus ain't going to invite him to the cocktail party. He's going to be on the ban list with Turtleboy. Fuck him. Burn it all. That's what we need. We need leaders to do this. So I'm there and I'm at this meeting tonight, and it went very well. I'm not going to lie. I met a lot of really cool people tonight that got it. There was only like 15 people there, and we just talked political strategy, man. So I didn't know anything about the town of Walpole going into this night. Okay. But I start reading about them, and it turns out I've written about one of their members of the school committee before. She was involved. She's a guidance counselor at Canton Middle School. There was an incident on a bus, a blog I wrote in May there, some wacky liberal, whatever. So I'm looking up their numbers, and just like all towns, their school committee elections are in like June and May, like ours are, and the regular elections are in November. So I look at how many people in Walpole voted in the presidential election that Biden won that town like 60% to 40. And it was like 16,500 or something like that. So how many people voted in June of that same exact year for school committee? 3,120. It's the same shit in all these towns. The same issue that we had in Holden, where I got 700 votes and Donald Trump got 5,000. Where were those 4,300 people that normally would vote for somebody like myself but just didn't show up? They don't give a fuck. Nobody cares. Nobody votes in school committee elections. Well, they need to. And this is what Glenn Youngkin literally designed his campaign around, was the schools. Critical race theory. Stopping it. Stopping this bullshit with the sneeches. And some kids don't wear masks and other kids don't have to. Enough is enough, and the forced climax, no more. That is the issue. That is the issue, because you have to understand, we are a minority. And this is what we discussed in the meeting tonight. And they got it. These people got it. And one guy is pointing out, like, we are a minority. But, Republicans are a minority in Virginia too. How did they win? They found one issue and they sold it. And if you can just make your campaign about that one issue that can attract 10% from the other side, that's all you need to do. And that's exactly what Glenn Youngkin did in Virginia with critical race theory. As it turns out, there are independents and even some Democrats who don't want their children to be told that they are bad oppressors because they are white. And they don't want their kids to be forced to read White Fragility and Ibram Kennedy's book. And I said those names tonight and everybody knew who they were. This issue takes very little explaining. Everybody knows who these people are at this point. Hammer it. It is a winning issue. And they discussed strategy. And we said, okay, so you need the next Republican town committee, there need to be 5 times the amount of people here. Okay. And then you need to hammer that this is the issue. Don't get caught up in taxes. You bore people with the tax shit. Somebody mentioned that tonight, and we're like, dude, nobody cares about taxes. We get it, okay? You're Republicans. We like lower taxes. That is not even close to being the biggest issue right now. The biggest issue right now is the communists are trying to force your kids to wear masks unless they join the Communist Party. That's basically what they're saying. And that's a much bigger issue than taxes will ever be. So we need some 75-year-old guy there to run for school committee on an anti-CRT platform. Nobody's going to vote for that. That's gay. Nobody wants that. We want a young parent, okay? Some guy or woman who's invested in the schools and is sick of seeing this shit and wants to change it. We need a Tracy Novick of our side, basically. Nothing like that, okay, obviously. But somebody who is passionate about the right things and fighting back against this shit. That's what we need. But we don't just need it in Walpole. We need it in every fucking town. So that is going to be my mission from this point forward. This is my calling. This is why God put me on earth. To go from town to town in this state. Winnable towns. I'm not going to Somerville. I'm not going to Cambridge. You fuck off. If you live there, you get what you get. Your fault. Worcester, I've abandoned. Springfield, done. Holyoke, no point. But there are towns that we can win. We can take, we need, but nobody runs and nobody votes. That needs to change. And that is the message that we're going to start sending. And I want people like Dooley need to get primaried. If a Republican can win in Dooley's district, that means it's a red district. It means any Republican can win, as long as you're not crazy. Like fucking Diana Plus can't win anywhere. Somebody like that. You can't have that. So you just need to, we need to get people to challenge all these stupid rhinos in there who are useless and do nothing. You're a minority party. Make some fucking noise. You're not going to win a lot, but make some fucking noise. Put up a fight. Put up some sort of opposition. And guess what? Everybody there agreed with this. It was very nice to hear this. It was very nice because you could tell they were probably like, this guy's fucking crazy. Like, is he going to come in here and like, do we need this? Whatever. I think that's what a lot of it was tonight. And it was just a misunderstanding. That's all it was. And I'm very happy that I sat down with these nice people and we talked and we discussed issues. And, that's why I didn't go live, because I'm not going to disrespect them by like busting out the camera. We had a good conversation, man. A very good conversation for a couple hours there. So we're starting a revolution. It's based around this bullshit. We're taking down people like Shawn Dooley, and we're taking over school committees. And that's what we're doing. And we're going to fix the schools, and we're going to stop the communists. And it's going to be fucking awesome. Okay. So that's what we're doing from now on. That's how the Turtleboy Sports revolution works. All right. So thank you guys. And thank you for the dono there. Rod sends $10 and he says, good work. I appreciate that, Rod. Let me check Turtle Chat. Oh, we got a nice dono over here on the Turtle Chat. Let me bring it up. From Vincent Vega, he says he sends 25 big ones, and he says some gas money. Thank you very much. So, like I said, I like doing shit like this. I'd like to do it more often. It doesn't really like pay, so your donations are very much welcomed in that regard, and that's cool too. It's not like I'm forming like a nonprofit or I'm not raising money right now. I might form a political action committee down the line. I don't know. I gotta learn to listen. I'm new to politics, man. I was a blogger for a year. Now I'm a political revolutionary. Who would have ever guessed it? Got that right, Adam. Okay. Anybody have any questions? Sorry, it's a little late show, but you've been a good crowd. Goddamn right. Viva la revolution. Yeah, like the lady I sat next to. Older lady, really nice woman. And she's like, where, like everyone's from Walpole there. She's like, where are you from? I'm like, Holden. I'm like, it's right next to Worcester. She goes, oh, I know it. My son lives there. And she's like, what are you doing here? I'm like, oh, I'm Turtleboy. She's like, you're Turtleboy? And everybody said, oh, you're Turtleboy. People had no idea. And I'm like, oh, yeah. She's like, oh, my son reads you. Like everybody there had a family member that read Turtleboy. Every single one of them. And they must have all been alerted, like, why aren't you letting Turtleboy speak? Blah, blah, blah. So they were all probably, I don't know if they got the wrong impression of me, but we had a good time. And I met a lot of cool people. Rayla was there. Obviously, Rayla was great. She's, from that area south of Boston. And she's running for Secretary of State. And so we're kind of in this all together. That's my camp of people, my kind of Republicans. So we'll see what happens. All right. Any other questions? The Turtle Chamber of Commerce. I like that. When's the next one? So I'm going to be speaking in Lexington in February, which is fucking awesome to talk about that. Now that's a town that's a little too liberal to win over. But it's symbolic. It's the birthplace of the American Revolution, baby. What better place to give a speech about standing up and defeating cancel culture than Lexington, Massachusetts? So I'll be speaking there. I was invited to speak in Foxborough, home of the Patriots. So I'll be going there as well. I'll be going all over. So if your Republican town committee wants to get fired up and, bring me in as a political consultant, You know, I work for donos. I work for super chats. Let me know. Hit me up. All right. Any other questions you guys have? You should write a carefully edited letter to the editor. I don't do newspapers, but thank you. I mean, I think it's a good analogy, don't you? It's a pretty fair analogy that I came up with there, if I don't mind saying so myself. Many in my neighborhood follow. Excellent. Thank you, Suzette. Check out Pembroke. I'd go to Pembroke. I'll go anywhere, guys. Anywhere in the state. I will be lucky. The good part about living in Central Mass is you're centrally located, right? You're equal. Like, it's not like I'm living in Boston where you have to go to Holyoke and it's freaking 2 hours away or some shit. Free Kyle, man. That kid, I thought about that trial all day. I kept refreshing it. You know that they've agreed that he's not guilty, right? The jury they've reached a verdict and they're afraid to come out with it. I've missed you too, Twitty. I haven't gone anywhere though. I'm right here. Norton's, please talk to your local Republican town committee. Yeah, I am. It's always very flattering when you hear that. You're like, oh, cool. This person knows who I am. Cool. I'm getting that more and more these days. We'll talk about Kyle Saturday. Yeah. Pray for Kyle, baby. Pray for Kyle. He's completely innocent. He did nothing wrong. Nothing wrong. Where do I live? I live in Holden. I live in Holden, Massachusetts. It's one town north of the Woo. Tomorrow. Turtle Club's always at 9:30. 9:30. What was the source that they reached a verdict? 𝗥𝗶𝘃𝗀𝗃. Jack has a lot of sauce. He's got sauces. That guy's got, and people are like, oh, you can't trust him. He's just some guy on Twitter. Well, he's got 1.5 million followers. And I know, like, he probably, like, when you have that big of a following, you have people everywhere that just give you information that don't want to put it on the record. That's basically what I do on a much larger level. I believe him. And it makes too much sense. I left. Oh, sorry to hear that, but glad you're back. Josh Scan. Oh, I love Josh. Josh is a great guy. My guy down in Georgia. Good. It should be. He is not guilty, man. There is no fucking way he is ever going to get convicted of murder. No fucking way will they get 12 people to convict him of murder. Give me a break. Would you ever want to leave Holden? I actually love Holden. I'm not gonna lie. I think it's a really cool town. It is, it's close enough between Leominster and Worcester that I can get anything I need, and it's close to the highway goes through it. I'm a big fan of Holden, to be perfectly honest with you. I like the schools. My daughter's elementary school, Davis Hill Elementary School, the fucking best school ever. The best. This girl comes home every day loving school. They had something today. She dressed up as her teacher today. Her teacher's name is Mrs. 𝗠𝗠, and she got all, like, she wore like this sweater thing. She's like, I'm Mrs. 𝗠𝗠 today. And I guess the teachers dressed up as the kids. They have a great time at Davis Hill. She comes home every day. The principal's a really good guy. I have nothing but good things to say about it. People like, leave the elementary schools. I'm like, I actually love my kid's school, and I'm not going to abandon it. I think it's great. Sorry. Any other questions? Yeah, I'd go to Hanson. A little far, but anybody else have any questions they want to ask me? You're fortunate public schools. See, I think I disagree with that. I think public schools are what you make of it. I think, my public school technically sucked where I went to school. Worcester South High School is a complete dump, but we had a good time. You make your friends, you form your cliques, you make the most of it, right? And all it takes is a creative imagination. We had fucking nothing in high school. Our high school sucked. but we have nothing but good memories of it. And it was ghetto as shit, but we thought it was hilarious at the same time. Like we had this one guy, 𝗏𝗏, who was at least like 24. And he would just like every day, he wasn't in your regular classes because he fucking couldn't spell. But Juan would be in your health class or whatever. And the teacher, Miss Zink, would be like, Juan, please sit down. Yo, Miss, I'm dancing right now. Yo, why you being racist, Miss? It was fucking hilarious. Like every day was hilarious. And that was really ghetto and shit, obviously. But it was hilarious to live through it too. So I think it's what you make of it. I mean, I think I've been pretty vocal about the transgender bathroom issue. Epic. Were you in there tonight? Opportunity for USA? If so, nice to meet you. Oh, 𝗵𝗄𝗃𝗃𝗃. 𝗵𝗄𝗃𝗃𝗃 is such a piece of shit, dude. I mean, what an asshole. I'm so glad he lost his fucking arm. Probably couldn't masturbate lefty for fucking the rest of his life now. Do you think Kyle will sue? Actually, if you watch our Turtle Club live stream last week with Mark Randazza about this, and Mark knows more about defamation in the First Amendment than anyone. No, you're not going to win because Kyle is being called a white supremacist, right? According to Mark, that's not defamation because any good lawyer would just argue white supremacist is opinion. Whereas, the Covenant kids were specifically said that they did things that they did not do. Kyle did shoot 2 people. He did do that. He did cross state lines or whatever. It's stupid, but, he killed 2 people. The Covenant kids didn't kill anyone. So I don't think it's going to be the same thing. Yeah, so the ideology of the teachers. So obviously there's a lot of liberal teachers in schools. But I mean, I was never brainwashed by and I understand some are, but even when I was teaching at Shepherd Hill, like you knew who the teachers were that would be willing to cross that line. And they were rare, man. It's not as new. Yeah, they vote liberal, but it's really not as obvious as you'd think. But certainly the schools pushing, the leftist ideology is problematic, but you just teach your kids that that's all fucking communist bullshit. I mean, it starts in the home, man. It starts in the home. You're more powerful than the schools. Hey, Charles. What's up, Charlie? He was there with me tonight, too. Okay. Anybody else have any questions before we call it a night? It's kind of a late night, but I had a good night. I miss any donos here in the Turtle Chat? No, we're good. All right. So I guess we will call it an evening, ladies and gentlemen. Thank you for joining me, and we will see some of you guys. I do a live stream every Wednesday night. It's called Turtle Club. It is only for Turtle Club members, $15 a month, and you get no ads. You get a free t-shirt. You just got to tell me what shirt you want. I send it to you. And you also get access to the premium stream, which is a kind of you never know what you're going to get on Turtle Club every week, different stuff every week that nobody else gets. Okay. So we will see you guys all tomorrow night, some of you, or else Thursday nights for the next episode of Turtle Boy Live. Peace, Turtle Riders.